Good evening, you're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Choudhry. Our top focus, of course, is the visit of the US Vice President J.D. Vance. He's meeting the Prime Minister. There is a bilateral in what is officially a personal visit. We're going to get you the latest coming in. First up, allow me to take you through the headlines. US Vice President J.D. Vance meets Prime Minister Modi. First in-person meeting on trade, talks and regional security also on cards. Prime Minister to host dinner for the US Vice President. Rahul Gandhi in United States says EC is compromised, something very wrong with the system. BJP targets Rahul Gandhi, accuses him of defaming India. BJP MP Nishikant Dubey attacks ex-CEC Chief Election Commissioner over Waqf Act criticism, says S.Y. Qureshi was a Muslim commissioner. Qureshi hits back over communal remark. BJP distances itself from Dubey remark. Wife of ex-Karnataka top cop confesses to murder, stabbed ex-DGP husband twice while having lunch, murder weapon recovered. India Today accesses wife's WhatsApp chats. Shocking physical assault on Indian Air Force officer and his wing commander wife in Bengaluru. Assaulter who attacked with the key in hand arrested by Bengaluru cops, FIR filed. China warns against trade deals with US at its expense, vows countermeasures. China says Trump trade tactics will backfire. Pope Francis passes away at 88 years after prolonged illness. Head of Worldwide Catholic Church. No more 9 days national mourning. All right, a top focus coming in, and that's the news that we are breaking. US Vice President has reached the Prime Minister's residence. J.D. Vance is at the 7 Lok Kalyan Marg. It's a bilateral which will take place at the Prime Minister's residence. India-US trade deal and regional security on talk agenda. First in-person trade talks. In midst of all of this, the Prime Minister will also host a dinner for the Vance family after holding talks with the US Vice President. Vance's first visit to India comes weeks after US President Donald Trump imposed and then paused a sweeping tariff regime against 60 countries, including India. New Delhi and Washington are now holding negotiations to seal a bilateral trade agreement that is expected to address a variety of issues, including trade and market access. This is the first in-person meet after Donald Trump announced the sweeping taxes, of course, on which now there is a pause for 90 days other than India. I want to quickly cut across to my colleague Shivani, who's outside 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, the Prime Minister's residence. It's interesting, Shivani, you know, bilaterals usually have taken place in other venues. It's happening at the Prime Minister's residence. On what is a personal visit, Shivani, what could be the official takeaway today?
Preeti, the meeting is underway at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is meeting the US Vice President J.D. Vance. And you are right, this is a combination of official as well as a personal visit, as we see Vance traveling along with his wife, Usha Vance, 3 young children. And they are going to multiple cities on their 4-day visit. They will be going to Jaipur. Today they were at Akshardham. And the key takeaway from this meeting is a comprehensive bilateral talk, and that will be focusing not only on the trade agreement on which India has been working since last couple of weeks, Preeti, but strengthening the overall strategic partnership with the United States of America. That also includes the defense ties, that also includes how India and America intend to increase investments and trade. They also want to give a strong message amid this tariff war where US and China are head-on the tariff issue. that India is working, negotiating along with the United States of America in this tariff agreement and the trade agreement. And this is going to be an important and a potential meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US Vice President J.D. Vance, which is not only a purely official meeting, but a meeting where J.D. Vance, along with his family, wants to witness the cultural heritage of the country.
You know, it's very interesting because this is a personal visit, but there are official takeaways because there is a bilateral in progress right now as we speak. And all of that, Shivani, is taking place at the Prime Minister's residence. Usually after a bilateral, there is a joint statement that is issued. I wonder if that's going to happen at the Prime Minister's residence because other bilaterals we've seen have taken place maybe at the Hyderabad house and there's a more official setting. So there is a protocol in motion. There's a lot of, new things in this current visit of the Vice President. Are we expecting a joint statement at all?
Certainly, Preeti, there are chances that MEA will be issuing a statement because, right before this meeting that is going on, there was a statement from the MEA on this official bilateral meeting. And Randhir Jaiswal, the spokesperson of the MEA, he had said that this is an important, comprehensive bilateral dialogue and it will include a number of issues and not only the trade and tariff issue. That means this is an official meeting. The MEA has been giving out statements on this meeting and we expect that after this meeting is done, there will be a statement that will be issued by the MEA. And the point that you raised that this particular meeting is happening at the residence may be the possibility, one of the reasons can be that because Prime Minister Narendra Modi is not only hosting the Vice President but also the family. So that's why this meeting is happening in this setup because he wants to host the young children because you remember when Prime Minister had met J.D. Vance in United States of America, he had taken toys and gifts for these young children. And once they are in India, and first time after taking over as the second lady, Usha Vance, is in India, she is being hosted by Prime Minister Narendra Modi at his residence. So this might be the reason why this bilateral is taking place at the official residence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
All right. So one of the reasons, Shivani, that you say is, moving away from possible protocol, the bilateral taking place at the Prime Minister's residence because, this is also a personal visit. And then there is a dinner which is being hosted by the Prime Minister for the Vance family. And adorable pictures came in from the Akshardham or even, when the Vances, the Vice President touched down with his family coming in, adorable, pictures of the little children there. And so it seems, Shivani, the kids are also invited for dinner this evening and possibly we'll see some pictures coming out, from there. But the Vances then fly off to Jaipur. So what's the itinerary looking like?
Preeti, this is a 4-day visit, the schedule of which is after today's meeting. Vances will be flying to Jaipur. They will be witnessing the majestic palaces of Jaipur, another important stop in their schedule as they are visiting India. And tomorrow there will be an address by United States Vice President J.D. Vance at Jaipur at around 3 in the Rajasthan International Center. And after that, they will be heading towards Agra. That happens to be one of the favorite stop for the dignitaries who've been coming to India. And that iconic bench where at the backdrop of Taj Mahal pictures get clicked. So this is a busy but very selectively chosen destinations by US Vice President J.D. Vance as his wife is from the Indian origin, Indian ancestry. She wants to witness the beauty, the majestic palaces of Jaipur, Rajasthan. They want to see the rich cultural heritage of the country, and not alone, but with their children. And remember, today after visiting the Akshardham temple, the Swami Narayan temple, a note of thanks has also come from J.D. Vance, where he says that especially the children really enjoyed this beautiful art of temple where they witness those crafts on the walls and the beautiful architecture of this temple. They thank the Swami Narayan Temple Trust for creating such a beautiful temple in India. They thank the Indian government for creating this beautiful temple in India. And he also specifically mentioned that it was enjoyed by all of us, but specifically most by the 3 children who were seen clad in Indian ethnic attire. Preeti.
Well, you're right there. You know, the very sweet pictures coming in from the Akshardham temple, and word has it that the entire Vance family is right now at the Prime Minister's residence. A quick bilateral, and then, of course, there's a dinner that is hosted by the Prime Minister himself. And possibly that's why we see a bit of breakaway of a bilateral protocol, because we've usually seen them happen at other official places like the Hyderabad House. Shivani, do stay on with me. I'm going to come right back because, you know, of course, all of this is the personal aspect of the meeting, but there is an official takeaway in all of this, viewers, and that comes in from and what India would be keenly watching and diplomatically approaching the Vice President is trade. In what has been a week of high-level diplomacy, US Vice President J.D. Vance visits India amidst growing strategic ties, while Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman leads bilateral talks with the US with reciprocal tariff trickling down. Both nations are pushing for a breakthrough in their ambitious $500 billion trade pact. Here's more in our next report, and we'll be back with a set of reporters to give you a ringside view on what to expect on this in this personal yet official visit.
The arrival of J.D. Vance in India on Monday morning kicks off a week of unprecedented pace in India-US trade talks. The US Vice President, a first-time visitor to the country of his wife's origin, has an itinerary packed with official meetings and personal time in Delhi, Agra and Jaipur. As the clock ticks on the 90-day extension in Trump's reciprocal tariffs, Vance will meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi, with the two expected to review progress made on the bilateral agenda outlined in February when Prime Minister Modi met President Donald Trump in Washington. Meanwhile, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is on a 5-day trip to the US. Though the minister is in the US for the spring meetings of the IMF, the World Bank and other multilateral engagements, bilateral talks with the US for a trade deal tops her agenda.
We are one of the countries which actively engaged with the new administration in the United States of America to see how best we can get a bilateral trade agreement done. Equally, the priority that we gave to engage with the government here is more than obviously seen with Prime Minister himself visiting the United States in February. You've had the Commerce and Trade Minister come. I've come here because I also have the IMF and World Bank meeting, but I'm scheduled to meet the Treasury Secretary, my counterpart here. So the keenness with which we are engaging with the US administration, even as I talk, I think the Vice President of the United States of America is in India. He will be engaging with the Prime Minister hopefully this evening or tomorrow.
There have been several top-level India-US engagements in the past 3 months, beginning with the Prime Minister's visit to the US in second week of February. This was followed by the Commerce Minister visiting US and then a reciprocal visit by the US Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, on 16th of March. A US trade delegation led by Assistant USTR Brendan Lynch was in India for 5 days in March. The latest are the visits of Finance Minister Sitharaman to the US and Vice President J.D. Vance to India. According to reports, India's chief negotiator for the deal, Rajesh Agarwal, will make a 3-day trip to the United States starting Wednesday. Meanwhile, there are reports that India and the US have finalized the terms of reference for the trade deal. This covers 19 chapters including tariffs, goods, non-tariff barriers, customs facilitation, rules of origin and regulatory issues. The team led by Rajesh Agarwal will iron out differences on certain issues before formally launching negotiations for the proposed Indo-US trade pact.
The long and short of engaging with the US is not just for tariff-related, this reciprocal tariff-related matter, but in the interest of keeping an agreement in mind and in the interest of our largest trading partner with whom we need to have an agreement, we are working in order that by fall this year, we should at least have the first phase of the agreement signed.
The US remained India's largest trading partner for the fourth straight year, according to trade figures released on 15th of April. The two countries have agreed on trade hitting $500 billion in the next 5 years. The enhanced dialogue between India and US also comes at a time when trade and diplomatic tensions between China and the US have ratcheted to an all-time high. Not only do the bilateral talks focus on manufacturing opportunities in India, but also the status of India as an important strategic ally in combating the rising influence of China in the Indo-Pacific region. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
All right, along with Shivani Sharma, who's joining us right outside the Prime Minister's residence where this bilateral is taking place, I'm joined right now by Karishma Asudani. She's a Business Today TV correspondent. She's joining us live. Karishma, what's on the table where trade is concerned, especially after the tariffs? There might be a pause on them for 19 days. This is the first in-person meeting. What is India expecting?
Pretty well, the Indian government has been reiterating the fact that we have had a first mover advantage. And I think J.D. Vance's visit kind of reaffirms that faith we have had with the US government, our relationship with US. This firms up our plan of signing a BTA early than what it's expected to be. And likely if that happens, then we may get relief beyond 90 days, which is 3 months, ideally, that the President of the United States of America has given to countries across. Well, his visit symbolizes and certifies the fact that both the governments are looking to work together, and his meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi tonight could be way more important because of the impending issues that have been lying. In fact, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman also on her visit to Washington, D.C., shared, of course, preceding the IMF meetings, has shared that India and USA are working to have mutual consensus on BTA. And I think owing to the fact that we have shared a good relationship with them, it's going to economically benefit us.
All right, we're going to continue to get more from our reporters. Appreciate you joining us, Karishma. We're going to quickly shift focus for a brief while and get back to the news coming in of that bilateral that is taking place at the Prime Minister's residence, but also getting you up to speed with the latest coming in from Karnataka and what has been a sensational and chilling case from Karnataka. Former Director General of Police Om Prakash has been murdered, allegedly by his own wife. The brutal crime took place at their Bengaluru residence while the retired top cop was having lunch. Here's more.
Former Karnataka DGP Om Prakash is stabbed to death inside his home in Bengaluru. The police on Monday arrested his wife Pallavi and their daughter Kruti for questioning. According to sources, the retired police officer was seated for lunch when Pallavi served him 2 types of fish. Moments later, a fight allegedly broke out. Wife Pallavi threw chili powder into his eyes before allegedly stabbing him multiple times in the neck and head. The DGP's body was found lying in a pool of blood. A plate was still lying near the table. 2 knives have been recovered from the scene, say sources. After the murder, both Pallavi and her daughter reportedly went upstairs. Later, Pallavi herself dialed the police to report the murder. When the police arrived, daughter Kruti allegedly created a ruckus and locked herself in a room. The officers had to break down the door to take her into custody. Pallavi, meanwhile, surrendered and allegedly confessed to the crime. The forensics team is examining fingerprints on the weapons and collecting more evidence to establish the sequence of events.
We have got the PM done. We have handed over the body to the son. We have taken to the HSR ground for the formalities. And please come, sir is there. Sir will give you all the details. Come, we are investigating it. We are investigating it.
ಬಟ್ ನಾನಂತೂ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಲಕ್ಷಾಂತರ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನಾನು ವ್ಯಯಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಬಟ್ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಸಲ ಮಾತಾಡ್ದಂಗೆ ಫಾರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಲ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೇ ಹೇಳೋದು, ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಕಾರಣ ಏನು ಅದೇ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಅವರು ಒಂಥರ ಈಗಿಂತ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮಾರು ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಇದೇ ಥರ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಲೆಫ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವೇನು ಉಸಿರಾಡ್ತೀವೋ ಆ ನರಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಚೂಪಾದ ಆಯುಧದಿಂದ ತಿಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನನಗೆ ಅದು ನೋಡಿ ಭಾಳ ಇದಾಯಿತು. ಆ ತಾಯಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಬೀಭತ್ಸವಾಗಿ ಕೊಲೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
An FIR was filed based on a complaint by the former DGP's son, who alleged that the mother and daughter used to threaten his father. Sources say Pallavi has been battling schizophrenia for over 12 years. Pallavi had allegedly told family members that she feared her husband might kill her. With Sagai Raj in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, more on that coming through. Siddaramaiah, Chief Minister, on former DGP Om Prakash's murder. He's come out and stated that the police will register an FIR and conduct an inquiry. Listen in.
ಎಂಕ್ವೈರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದಾಗಿತ್ತು ಆಗಿದೆ. ಪೊಲೀಸರು ಎಂಕ್ವೈರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದಾಗಿತ್ತು ಆಗಿದೆ. ಪೊಲೀಸರು ಎಂಕ್ವೈರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದಾಗಿತ್ತು ಆಗಿದೆ. ಪೊಲೀಸರು ಎಂಕ್ವೈರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
Own wife and daughter. The son has also, of course, come out and said that his mother is suffering from schizophrenia, his sister from depression, and he holds them responsible and accountable for the murder of his father. But tragic yet shocking and sadly sensational news coming in from Karnataka. I'm joined right now by Sagai Raj. Sagai, the story is completely shook Bengaluru and Karnataka. What more can you add in terms of investigation? Lots of twists and turns taking place. The son now also coming out and blaming his own mother and sister for this crime.
So what we get to learn from our sources is that the police have already arrested both of them, both a mother and a daughter duo, and they will be produced anytime now at the magistrate court to seek the custody. What we also get to learn is that mother has already confessed to the crime, and the police are investigating further. What is the reason? What exactly transpired for the family members to take this particular extreme step and murder him? As we speak now, the police are continuing their investigation in this entire murder case.
All right, appreciate you joining us. We're going to come back to you for more updates, Sagai. Meanwhile, more news coming in from Karnataka, where a shocking incident has come to light, where an Indian Air Force officer and his wife were allegedly assaulted by a group of men in Bengaluru on Sunday evening. According to the information accessed by India Today, the incident occurred while the couple, Wing Commander Aditya Bose and his wife, Squadron Leader Madhumita, were heading to the airport in their car. Wing Commander Bose shared a video on his Instagram account detailing the attack, in which he claimed that a biker began tailing their vehicle and started verbally abusing them in Kannada. India Today has also accessed the images of the attackers who allegedly assaulted the Indian Air Force officer. Bose claimed that upon noticing the DRDO sticker on their car, the attacker grew more aggressive and directed verbal abuse at his wife as well. When Bose stepped out of the vehicle to confront him, the biker allegedly struck him on the forehead with the key.
People came surprisingly and started abusing us, that we are doing wrong things. That person, he took his stone out, started trying to hit my car. I trying to stop, he hit me on my head again. Here you can see the blood and see my condition. The reality of main heartland Karnataka. I couldn't believe it. God help us. God gave me the power not to retaliate. Tomorrow, if law and order doesn't help me, I will retaliate. And then these people will have it. Please help me. The shocking thing is that the local people, the Kannada people there, everybody was watching. There were aged people who were only telling the person who had done the crime that he was wrong, get away from here. But other locals, they were supporting him. They were holding my hand. That guy even bit me in my finger. He bit me in my finger. It's atrocious. If I had the capacity, I could have done anything to him. I was larger in size, larger in power. But he came, shocking because he came prepared. He had a keys in his hand, wearing a helmet, and he wanted to aggravate the situation. And God knows what would have happened if my wife was there alone. I'm very worried now that my wife and my kid are there alone. This happened in the heart of the city in DRDO area.
Meanwhile, massive furor over Nishikant Dubey's inflammatory remarks continue. Day after BJP President J.P. Nadda distanced the BJP from the MP's remarks, the MLA from Bengal, Agni Mitra Paul, has voiced support for her party colleague, questioning the judiciary's authority. While growing chorus for action against Dubey is on, a plea seeking criminal contempt proceedings against the BJP MP is expected to be filed. The petition urges the court to take cognizance of Dubey's comments, in which he accused the Supreme Court of double standards and fanning anarchy and religious war. Meanwhile, the BJP has countered the Congress party by releasing an old video of former Prime Minister Narendra Modi in which he's heard openly criticizing the judiciary. On the other hand, you've had Nishikant Dubey, who after attacking the judiciary actually went after a former Chief Election Commission, S.Y. Qureshi, calling him a Muslim CEC and suggesting that he spoke in favor of what the judiciary said on the Waqf ruling. Ultimately, viewers, in all of this, the BJP has distanced itself from the party MP. However, there are speculations of a contempt case.
आप जब राम मंदिर का विषय होता है तो आप राम मंदिर में कहते हो कि कागज दिखाओ, कागज दिखाओ। कृष्ण जन्मभूमि का मामला आएगा मथुरा में तो कहोगे कागज दिखाओ। आप जब शिव की बात होगी, ज्ञानवापी मस्जिद की बात आएगी, कागज दिखाओ। मुगलों के आने के बाद जो मस्जिद बने हैं उसके लिए कहते हैं कि आप कागज कहां से दिखाओ। इस देश में धार्मिक युद्ध भड़काने के लिए केवल और केवल सुप्रीम कोर्ट जिम्मेवार है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट का एकमात्र उद्देश्य है, शो मी द फेस विल शो यू द लॉ। सुप्रीम कोर्ट अपनी सीमा से बाहर जा रहा है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट की सीमा यह है कि भारत का संविधान जिस कानून को बनाया उस कानून की उसको व्याख्या करनी है, और यदि वो व्याख्या नहीं कर सकती है और सब कुछ के लिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाना है तो इस संसद का कोई मतलब नहीं है, विधानसभा का कोई मतलब नहीं है, उसको बंद कर देना चाहिए।
How does Mr. Shah know what is happening in the political world? What are the forces at work which want to destroy a developing economy? Is a judge competent to decide that? Then why have democracy? Why have elections? Why have political people?
See, as far as judiciary is concerned, we firmly maintain the stand of Bharatiya Janata Party that there are clear division of power in the Constitution of India, and every institution respects the other institution in this beautiful democracy of ours. So no comment on the judiciary of India. It's a very good system in India that is in place, and we'll all work together for the betterment of this country.
प्रधानमंत्री क्यों नहीं कंडम कर रहे? इसका मतलब है कि प्रधानमंत्री निशिकांत के इस बयान से सहमत हैं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी इस हद तक चली जाएगी कि चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया पे इस तरीके का हमला करेगी कि वो देश के अंदर धर्म युद्ध कराना चाहते हैं। ये तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी चाहती है, और इस बयान से मुझे लगता है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी कोई बड़ी साजिश कर रही है और उसकी जिम्मेदारी चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया पे डालना चाहती है। अगर देश के अंदर किसी तरीके का कोई हंगामा होता है तो उसके लिए चीफ जस्टिस जिम्मेदार नहीं होंगे, भारतीय जनता पार्टी जिम्मेदार होगी।
Rahul Gandhi sparks political storm from Boston. Speaking at the Brown University in Boston, he accused the Election Commission of India of voter fraud during the 2024 Maharashtra Assembly elections. Rahul Gandhi has made the same claim earlier in Parliament, raising serious doubts on how elections are run back home in India. alleging the Election Commission of India is compromised and no more an independent body. Charge 1. Rahul Gandhi invoked the Maharashtra Assembly elections, claiming the voting numbers just don't add up. More people voted in the Maharashtra Assembly elections than there are adults in Maharashtra.
More people voted in the Maharashtra Assembly elections than there are adults in Maharashtra. This is a fact.
Charge 2. Rahul claimed the Election Commission gave a voting figure for 5:30 p.m. and then between 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. in just a span of 2 hours, 65 lakh voters were added to the tally. As per him, that is physically impossible to happen. For a voter to vote, it takes approximately 3 minutes. And if you do the math, it would mean that there were lines of voters till 2 a.m. But as per him, that did not happen. That's a huge number of voters in a very short time. And Rahul Gandhi says there is no way that kind of voting rush could have happened without people noticing the massive queues.
The Election Commission gave us a figure, voting figure for 5:30 in the evening. And between 5:30 in the evening and 7:30 in the evening, when the polls were supposed to have closed, 65 lakh voters voted. Now, that is physically impossible to happen.
Charge 3. Rahul said that when his party asked for videography of the voting process, just to clarify, the Election Commission not only turned them down, but even changed the rules around it. When we asked them for the videography, they not only refused, but they also changed the law so that we are not allowed to ask for videography, he claimed. To him, that was another sign that the system is being shielded from public scrutiny.
Taking place, if we ask, they not only refused to give us the videography, they changed the law so that now you're not allowed to ask for the videography. So it's very clear to us that the Election Commission is compromised. It's very clear that there is something very wrong with the system.
The BJP hit back in full force, accusing Rahul Gandhi of defaming the country on foreign soil.
राहुल जी अमेरिका में जाके इलेक्शन कमीशन को कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड बताते हैं। वो कहते हैं कि महाराष्ट्र के चुनाव में जिस प्रकार का मतदान हुआ, वो एक तरह से फर्जीवाड़ा था। महाराष्ट्र में भारतीय जनता पार्टी को और उनके अलाइज को जीतना नहीं था और कहीं न कहीं इलेक्शन कमीशन ने हमारे साथ समझौता किया।
ये बहुत ही दुख की बात है कि श्रीमान राहुल गांधी विदेश में जाकर अपने देश के प्रति, अपने देश के संविधान ने जो संस्थाएं तैयार की है उनके प्रति इस प्रकार से झूठ बोलने का प्रयास करते हैं, झूठ फैलाने का प्रयास करते हैं, भारतीय लोकतंत्र को बदनाम करने का प्रयास करते हैं। ये बहुत ही निंदनीय।
Meanwhile, Akhilesh Yadav too jumped in the controversy by tweeting out a video of a suspended Maharashtra sub-inspector who claimed that he was paid 10 lakhs by the BJP to help manipulate EVMs. The EC was quick to respond to this particular allegation through a tweet, stating, official reports by DEO and SSP Bid dismissed PSI Ranjit Khasale was not on election duty during Maharashtra Assembly elections. The allegations are aimed at disturbing public peace and tranquility, inciting people for violence against the state. DEO directed to take action against Khasale. The BJP-led Mahayuti coalition won a landslide in Maharashtra, getting 235 out of 288 seats in the 2024 Assembly elections, just months after a very poor showing in Lok Sabha elections. The Congress, stunned by the scale of the defeat, approached the Election Commission and the Supreme Court on what they call have been grave irregularities. Bureau Report, India Today. And that case is still on in the top court of the country, viewers. At the back of what we've just seen, the questions that I asked this evening. Rahul Gandhi raising allegations of election manipulation on foreign soil abroad, insulting India on foreign soil. Well, this is a charge that the BJP has levied against Rahul Gandhi. They also say it's ethically wrong to speak of internal matters, political grievances internationally. Why air dirty linen in public is the charge of the BJP and the critiques of Rahul Gandhi. But flip it over, viewers. Democracy is a universal value. Rahul has every right to raise concerns internationally. Rahul speaking to Indian diaspora abroad have a right to speak on transparency and grievances. And BJP leaders criticized the UPA government on foreign shores. Rahul is no different. So if it was good for the goose, then it should be good for the gander. Why suddenly does that become treason if you do so? Because it's happened earlier, not once, multiple times. Let's take all these questions right now to our two panelists this evening. Joining me, Dr. Syed Zafar Islam, National Spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party, Adil Singh Boparoy, National Spokesperson, Congress. I'm going to allow both of you 2 minutes each to make your point, and then your fader will fall, and the other person will get an opportunity. Adil Singh, the point is whether Maharashtra election issues, grievances, allegation, charges, whatever one might call it, that the opposition, which includes your party, has with the Election Commission. The case is still on where the Supreme Court is concerned. So therefore, ethically, is it right to raise these issues on foreign shores? What are you trying to achieve? Because ultimately, this will only give a bad name to the country. Why speak of these issues on foreign soil, sort them out in India? These are our internal matters. What are we hoping to achieve by taking them abroad?
Preeti, number one, what Mr. Rahul Gandhi has said is merely a reiteration of the facts which are already in public domain. He's not said something which is new. He said this on the floor of the parliament. He said this at multiple press conferences within the country. Point number one. Point number two, let's assess the facts as they stand. It is a matter of record that prior to December 2024, as per Rule 93 of the Conduct of Election Rules of 1961, you and I, or for that matter, any citizen of this country, could apply to the Election Commission of India and seek the CCTV footage and the videography on the payment of a requisite fee. This was a statutory right. The Election Commission of India was obligated to us to supply us with those documentations, electronic record. There was also a judgment of the Punjab and Haryana High Court mandating the ECI to supply this information in the context of the Haryana Assembly election. But be that as it may, the BJP, which is antithetical and allergic to transparency and public scrutiny, amended the rules. What prompted the Bharatiya Janata Party to amend the rules after the Maharashtra elections? Point number two. Point number three, I find this ironical. Just 2 days back, you had a sitting member of parliament of the BJP accusing the Supreme Court of India, the bulwark of our freedoms and our rights under Part 3 of the Constitution, of provoking religious wars in this country. He accused the Chief Justice of India. He scandalized and brought down the repute of the highest court of the country, and the BJP is telling us about institutions. And fourthly, Preeti, we live in a world today which is connected by internet, which is connected through all other technological mediums. So if I say something today sitting in Chandigarh, that can be heard and viewed by people sitting in California or vice versa. So I find this argument to be quite naive.
Sorry, your fader's done. I'll come back to you, because what we are going to do is we'll go into, a charge-by-charge breakdown of what Rahul Gandhi's alleged, not just in Boston, but in the parliament and in India as well. But Syed Zafar Islam, multiple questions there, Syed Zafar Islam. Number one, the BJP alleges that this is treason, is to basically wash dirty linen, your own grievances, to air them abroad is unethical and is anti-national. But having said that, we've had BJP leaders that include the Prime Minister in 2014, 2015, in America, speak of the UPA years as the dark period of the country. I can elucidate on that. So it was fine to do it then. What's wrong now? Number one. Number two, Adil Singh Boparoy, democracy is an international concept. why not speak of transparency and governance on an international stage?
Well, Preeti ji, first of all, you have to understand the mindset of Rahul Gandhi. Mr. Rahul Gandhi has a very disruptive mindset. He doesn't care about the country's image and the image of the institutions of the country. These institutions have long history.
We're getting the first images of J.D. Vance, the Vice President of America and Prime Minister Modi meeting. Well, this is the Prime Minister receiving J.D. Vance, the Vice President, at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg. Mind you, there is a bit of break of protocol and the kids are also there. You have Usha Vance, J.D. Vance's wife, along with their 3 children. And you can see the Prime Minister go ahead and greet them himself. All of them very cutely, formally dressed. In the afternoon, they were wearing kurta pajamas at the Akshardham temple. They've changed into little suits for the evening. And the reason why there has been a sense of break of protocol, viewers, where this bilateral is not happening at the Hyderabad house or, another official, or a more formal venue, but at the residence of the Prime Minister is, number one, this is a private visit. It has official components to it because there is a bilateral, but it's a private visit, and the Prime Minister is hosting the Vance family for dinner right after the bilateral. So these are the 2 images that are coming in. You can see the Prime Minister greeting J.D. Vance, the Vice President, with a hug. And you can see him walk with the Vance family. While there will be a bilateral, after that there is going to be a dinner that the Prime Minister is hosting for the Vice President. We'll continue to get our viewers more images as and when they come in. I just want to quickly go to Gaurav Sawant for just about getting a quick update on these visuals that are coming in. Gaurav, understandably, a breakaway from what is usual traditional protocol. A bilateral takes place as a formal setting, but this is the Prime Minister hosting the Vance family for dinner, and a private, visit which has official components to it, therefore the visuals that we see.
And these are amazing pictures, and the children are looking lovely in their traditional Indian attire, wearing a band gala. So the 3 children, wearing, Ivan's wearing a kurta pajama and a Modi jacket or a Nehru jacket, depending on what you may want to call it. Vivek's wearing his band gala, and Mirabel also in traditional Indian attire. We're just putting out those images. They've just come in, just a moment ago, and these are absolutely stunning images of the Vance family at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg at Prime Minister Narendra Modi's residence, where he's invited the US Vice President, Mrs. Vance, Usha Vance, who incidentally, as you know well, is of Indian origin, and the 3 children. So they visited the Akshardham Swaminarayan temple earlier this morning. They went a little shopping they did near Connaught Place, and now they've come to the Prime Minister's residence for this. The first part is the meeting, you have the American delegation, you also have the Indian delegation, and then, of course, you have the dinner. It's an official visit. This leg, remember, he was given a Tri-Services Guard of Honor when he landed at the Palam Technical Area. There was a Union Cabinet Minister, Ashwini Vaishnav, in waiting for the Vice President. And all these are very powerful messages. The red carpet being laid out here at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg. So in all of this, remember, even when the Prime Minister met the Vance family in Paris, there were gifts for all the little children and traditional Indian toys. Toys from various places in India. For example, wood carving, wooden toys that are made in India, which are now being exported extensively across the world. So, a little taste of Indian culture for the Vance family as they reconnect with roots. Little children look at what's happening in India. Their visit to Swaminarayan Akshardham temple. Now they'll be going to the Amer Palace. They'll be staying at the Rambagh Palace in Jaipur. And then the family will be going to Agra. So all of this is the official leg and then the unofficial leg, all on display for the world to see.
Well, the visuals coming in of the kids, rather cute. Viewers, we had images of them wearing kurta pajamas at the Akshardham temple, and they've all, moved into more formal attire for the dinner that has been hosted by the Prime Minister. Still waiting for visuals of Usha Vance as she finally changed into an Indian outfit herself. Till now, she's been in dresses, but, we're going to try and get in more images coming in. But these are the first images that have been released by the Prime Minister's office on the Prime Minister receiving the Vance family. And I want to bring in Shivani, my colleague, who's joining us right outside 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, in just about a minute. But, Gaurav, there's also a fair line of diplomacy that is being walked here, because there has been a break of protocol at multiple levels, especially even when it was receiving the Vice President on what has largely been a private visit. India is rolling up the red carpet. But there is, few apprehensions that need to be ironed out, especially where trade is concerned, because this would be, in an official bilateral, the first in-person meet between the Prime Minister and the Vice President of the United States of America on the road ahead, where trade comes into question.
Indeed, and this is the relationship. So this is their third engagement, if I may. Remember, they met in Paris, and that again was with family. Then they met in the United States of America. And if you also notice, Elon Musk had his children when he met Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In a way, his son's been to the Oval Office, and several of those meetings Elon Musk's sons have been there. So this is a signal that America is also trying to send out to their own people and across the world. When they come to India, again, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is somebody who helps carry that message forward. This is a relationship where India, in a way, is investing in the future leadership of the United States of America. J.D. Vance is very young. He's Vice President. He has President Trump's ear. He's sent out on very important assignments by President Trump. You've seen the way he interacted in the Oval Office with some heads of state, and in some cases he was also very aggressive. But look at his body language in India, his comfort factor with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, his close association in terms of his engagement on the Indian culture, which he's written about, how that's helped him keep him on an even keel. So that's very, very significant. That is something that India wants to harness as you take this relationship forward. And trade is one aspect. The strategic ties, Indo-Pacific, Quad, this relationship is only said, from what officers in the government tell me, set to grow from strength to strength.
His close relationship where India's cultural ties come into question can also be mirrored in the fact that he's married to Usha Vance. Usha Vance traces her inheritance and her heritage from Andhra Pradesh, Hyderabad, and you can see her right there being greeted by the Prime Minister with her little daughter, holding her little daughter there in a very pretty golden frock, but golden evening dress as well. We're going to get our viewers more. I want to cut across to my colleague Shivani as Gaurav continues to be with us. Shivani Sharma right outside the Prime Minister's residence, 7 Lok Kalyan Marg. Shivani, endearing images that are coming in from the Prime Minister's residence there, where the Prime Minister himself receiving the Vance family. It was an invite. He's hosting them for dinner. That's why the bilateral also takes place at the Prime Minister's residence, a bit breakaway from protocol. But are we expecting a joint statement? Because usually that's what follows every bilateral. Will it happen at the Prime Minister's residence, or we're going to see, a joint statement being released by the MEA later?
Preeti, it's been over an hour when the Vice President is inside 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, where we are present right now. We are seeing the pictures where Prime Minister Narendra Modi has welcomed the Vice President along with his family. He's showing around the little children his garden. And last time when we were talking, we were discussing why a breakaway from the Hyderabad house to this place. Now it's clear that the whole family is being hosted here. It's more than a bilateral. It's just not just a bilateral, but a personal focus also, a personal visit also, the warmth and affection that Prime Minister Narendra Modi wants to show to J.D. Vance as India and America are moving ahead, not only from the people-to-people ties, but also leader-to-leader ties, the bond that they want to create and give a message across. And when you were asking about the statement, it's quite likely that there will be a statement that will be released by the MEA, because this is not just another meeting. This is an important meeting between India India and United States. This is the first meeting by J.D. Vance when he's in India after taking over. He's coming here, he's meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the focus has been on not only the trade agreement which the India and United States are working on, but also technology, defense ties, comprehensive strategic ties. So that partnership is being discussed. So we expect that there might be a statement, though not a joint statement, but a statement by the MEA that can be released after this.
All right, not a joint statement, but a statement by the MEA that will be released, because viewers, once again, this is a private visit, but massive amounts of official takeaways from it, and we're going to keep our viewers clued in on what exactly they are. But till then, sweet images coming in of the Prime Minister receiving the Vance family at the 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, the Prime Minister's residence. We leave you with that. Appreciate you joining us.